Okay, so I'm just gonna put it out in the beginning. Okay, I'm not down with all this wokeness, this whole woke thing going on in the media and in Western society, like at large. But as far as Snow White, apparently it's not doing so great in the pre run up to the movie releasing. I guess there's been talks about Disney possibly canceling it. I mean, we'll see how all that goes. But the whole thing is, I'm not interested in hearing about. And apparently, like a lot of people agree with what I'm saying because um, the Snow White actress, she was saying how it's not 1937 anymore. Snow White needs an update. This Snow White this live action Snow White they're coming out with is apparently, it's not going to be centered around waiting for her Prince Charming or the Prince Charming to come and kiss her and all that stuff. It's going to be basically focused on being a girl boss and all that ish. But like I said before, like I'm not into the whole woke thing, like I don't care about hearing about no, you know, in the booty niggas and whatnot, and this modern feminism and every other agenda that comes along with this wokeness. I mean, every media that I've seen, or at the very least, seeing the previews of, has been trash. Like it's not even they aren't even good movies, good media. I mean, you see it in TV series and all that stuff. Um, but yeah, so like on TikTok, a lot of people have been complaining on TikTok about how they don't like the direction or the subject of this newer live action Snow White movie about being a girl boss from the standpoint of, again, it's getting too far away from the original. They like the original. Um, they're doing too much. They aren't going to have the dwarfs. Apparently, and that's another thing. Apparently, saying dwarf, like, it's no bueno. It's, I guess, derogatory. I mean, who knows? But it's just ridiculous. Now, me personally, like, I haven't. Because here's the thing, Disney has been doing this live action thing for a little while now, and I have not seen any of the live action remakes of any of the movies. I just like for me, like I really like animation in general. If anything is an animation, for me anyway, it's going to get that point up because it's in animation. Now the movie may very well be trash, but until the point I find out that the movie's trash, you know what, has a heads up or a point up. But but yeah, so that's the first thing with me. You're gonna do a remake in live action, like well, then it's basically just a movie at that point, like, legit, you know, live action movie. Like, ugh. Now, I don't know if I'm in the minority or majority or whatever, but that's my first issue. Second issue is like how I was just saying, a lot of them are woke based, The woke plot, from what I can tell or what I've been hearing in the Snow White one, is based on, girl power, girl boss, basically, feminism, you know. Um, and shoot, a lot of the women on social media, specifically TikTok, they ain't feeling that. A lot of women are just saying they want a simple, you know, romantic Snow White story. Like they like the Prince Charming aspect of it. Hollywood and these big media producers are always pushing some narrative that they want. They forget the public, the consumers that are watching their movies are not, you know, these social intellectuals and whatnot. Like they're as I heard someplace else, the unwashed masses. They don't give a rat's ass about most of this stuff. As a matter of fact, the reason why so much of this stuff gets so much play in social media or wherever is because the loud minority. 10% of people are really loud on Twitter and what have you, and movie studios and tech companies and whoever else take that as a sign of, oh, this is what society wants now. Like, no, You have a quiet majority and you have a loud minority. And unfortunately, the loud minority is essentially making decisions for everyone else because the companies and corporations that push this media are listening to them. So yeah, it's ridiculous. And just like with the other live action remakes of movies, I would not be seeing this. I think most live action movies, again, in my opinion, are trash just because A, the storyline is ugh, and B, it's not animation. I love me some animation. I love comedy. Going to The Lion King, as far as the story goes, uh, I hear the biggest or one of the bigger issues with that was like, okay, with animation, like you can really exaggerate facial expressions and moods and things like that without actually having to talk. These live action or CGI lions or what have you, like their facial, the animating of their faces and emotional conveying a message emotionally was very stunted because the facial emotions were very stiff. It's part of live action. I mean, how many lions in the Serengeti or wherever is making emotive faces? When something's going on. Not many. You know, none that I've seen. Then you add on top of it the whole wokeisms and all that stuff. Like bye, just bye. You know. But yeah, like I heard about this, and I had to get this off my chest because I'm like, ugh, this again, like really, this again. Fortunately for me, like I've seen Snow White, Lion King, Aladdin. Again, not the live action ones, not those, the the cartoon ones, I should say. I've seen those, so it's like they're fine. I'm not missing out on much. It wasn't like they were like my favorite movies of all time, nothing like that. But I'm just glad that I got to see the originals before Hollywood and other movie studios start fucking over the original product. So anyway, all right, y'all.